know someone, or are you personally battling a drug and alcohol addiction? Why are so many people addicted today? And why have so many people died as a direct result of this disease? If you've been affected by this problem and want answers like we do, then join us in our efforts to face this disease. Our purpose is to examine the truths, expose the lies, and uncover and provide resources to this affliction. Come, join us in this journey. Hi, I'm Charlene DeChico, and welcome to Addiction and Recovery TV. Today we are hosting an event here in West Hollywood at the West Hollywood Park. This is a Mental Health, Addiction, and Awareness Day. We'd like to thank you for taking this time with us today, and please continue to follow us and like us on Facebook, support our program, and be encouraged by the people that are here today, because they are all here today as volunteers and of service to let the community know the difference that they are making. Hi, Charlene DeChico here, and we're still at the Mental Health Awareness event today. And I have just been talking with Miss Wineka Vaden, who is the founder of the Community Reflections Organization. And thank you, Wineka, for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, you have to tell us, what is Community Reflections?
Community Reflections, I established Community Reflections because me being born and raised in the same neighborhood and just seeing the results of what I dealt with through my lifestyle, from gangs to drugs, and just the mentality and the attitude that I had, I felt like coming out of prison, I wanted to know what could I do positive to give back to the community. I feel like I started this lifestyle as far as being an active part of the drugs and the lifestyle.
So tell us, where were you from, or where were you in prison, and how long have you had Community Reflections?
I'm from South Los Angeles. I've had Community Reflections now for 6 years. I've been in and out of prison for several years. I've been home for 7 years, and when I came home, I decided God had been good to me, and it was time for me to make a difference and bring a change to my community. So I decided, what could I do to give back? And so when I came home, knowing God restored me and transferred me, I've been born on 105th Street on the west Athens part of Los Angeles all my life, through gang banging, drug slanging, and just the lifestyle. They called me the queen of the hundreds, and like I said, I had a mentality that was just ruthless. So I felt like, what can I do to make a difference, to give back in our community? And this is when I decided that one thing about me being in and out of prison, through my lifestyle, I've loved God all my life. All my life. So therefore, when he restored me, I wanted to make a difference. And so when I came home, I decided that I had a cosmetology license, that I've been doing hair and have had for years, that I was still able to come out, open up a beauty salon, and put people that was coming out of the prison system, knowing that they had no other ways of being their own entrepreneur, and teach them how to get their license to be their own entrepreneur. And it would work hand in hand, giving back and working with the prisons. So I opened up a beauty salon. It was called Miss Nikki's Reflections Beauty Salon. And so once we got open, and was up and very successful, nourishing the community and just having different sorts of people in our community just nourishing and supporting, even though we were doing hair, it was very inspiring. But unfortunately, we had a main water break by DWP, and what happened is that my beauty salon was destroyed. So in the process of renovating, when I seen the needs and just seen the love and how can I do more, because the beauty salon was fine, but it wasn't my passion. So as I realized and watched the neighborhood and just still the girls out here prostituting, the drugs and everything else, like I said, I needed to do more. So once I realized that I had other options to find out about what I wanted to do. This is when I learned about Prop 47. So then I started working with all the local organizations in our community. And so I got with Community Coalition, and when they explained to me about Prop 47, we campaigned, and this was something that I felt very comfortable in doing. So in addition to us campaigning for Prop 47, I was still in the process of renovating my beauty salon, deciding what I wanted to do. So unfortunately, I got a call because I do have a license to operate for gangs, and so in the process of doing intervention, when I received this call that it was a young Latino over at McDonald's, at McDonald's being harassed only because he had 15 minutes to use the Wi-Fi and before McDonald's closed. They didn't want to allow him to stay in there. So it became a big outrage. And when the police came out, they called us over. We sat and went over there and talked with them. And so once I seen that, I said, these kids, they need something better. They need to have a place to come over to be able to use the computers. We're surrounded by 4 charter schools. I mean, every other door it might as well be. And we have no after school programs, no computer labs, no resources. And so that's when I decided that, no, I'm going to make my building a resource center. And this is how I came with Community Reflections. So by then, I was out with different other organizations and just seeing what avenues I wanted to take and how did I want to go about succeeding in the things that we were being able to offer. So I feel like, well, with the people coming in and out of prison, one of my biggest things that I found when I was still campaigning for Prop 47 is this was a way to reduce these people's felonies. You know, the inmates and ones that was coming home from prison that had these felonies, and knowing that it was a hindrance for us, them getting jobs, housing, social services, or things that they need. How could I help them? So Prop 47 became very, very sentimental, emotional, and big for me. So
if someone doesn't know what Prop 47 is, can you tell us a little bit about what is that?
Well, Prop 47 was passed by the Senate in 2014. Prop 47 is where they're reducing your felonies. If you have any low crime felonies, whether it be drug possession, receiving stolen good, or even cannabis, anything that's not under $950, you are able to get your felony reduced to a misdemeanor. And so this bill passed 2014. And so what I found that once we were able to get the bill passed, I was just so excited about it that when I opened up my office, I put in my own live scan machine. And this is where, when you have your live scans, they come into the office to get their live scan. They're able to get their rap sheet. So once we get their rap sheet, okay, they go through the DOJ, we get their rap sheets. Once we obtain their rap sheets, we can see exactly what's on their record. And once we find out what's on their record, then we know where we go from there as far as being able to reduce their felonies.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back with Winnetka, and we're going to talk about a little bit more about the Prop 47, about the live scan, what that is, and how Community Reflections started making a difference in the community. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back here at Addiction and Recovery TV, and I am talking with Miss Winnetka Vaden, and we've been talking about Community Reflections, and we got into a little bit about the Prop 47 and the legality and the law getting passed. So, Winnetka, tell us more about the Prop 47 and then the process. She mentioned live scan. So some of you may know what that is, some of you may not know, and the obstacle it is to get your record. So what Community Reflections is doing is an opportunity for people to get help in that area. So let us hear from Winnetka and tell us what do you guys got going on here.
Okay, sure. Hi, once again, Wineka. I want to talk a little bit about the live scans in Prop 47. So as we shared with Prop 47, there's certain felonies that you are able to get reduced. And once you're able to get them reduced, you would come into our office and we're offering free live scans for the summer. So I wanted to speak a little bit more about what live scans entail. And we know that first you need your penal codes, your rap sheet, and then we do the Prop 47 Prop 47 reduction, and then you need a proof of service and a fee waiver. So when you come into our office, okay, right now we're offering free live scans, and so we have a sheet right here for you to come in here to get your live scan. And the purpose of getting your live scan is for us to be able to get your record and obtain your records from the DOJ, that it tells us exactly what types of felonies you may have on your record. Right. So now you can have your rap sheet. Once we do your live scan, yes, this is your rap sheet. So the reason we encourage you to get your rap sheet is because so many people use different AKAs, alias, in different counties or whatever else. And then me, for a perfect example, I have 57 felonies. So it can be a very difficult process to reduce your records if you don't have your rap sheet. So with Department the county public defender, they suggest that you come to them and they will go on the computer and look up your record, okay? But that's great, but then the only thing about it is that they may not get every felony that you have on your record. So therefore, you're coming back to the drawing board because you found out you reduced this felony in this county, or in this county, and what they seen on their computer, but realize that you have several other felonies, okay, that may pop up like mine. I have people that I don't even know who use my name, and I didn't use it so many times that, you know, so we found that this didn't work because they was coming back to the drawing board and it still wasn't addressing the matter, okay? And then they encourage you that you can go to the courts. Yes, you can go to the courts and get a docket. This is called a docket. So you can go to the courts and ask for a docket, and what it's going to do is they're going to give you your docket for that particular felony that you may have in that court only for that county and that court building. So this does you no good. So we found that all these different methods that they used, it wasn't successful, okay, for the one that was trying to get their record completely clean the right way. So therefore, once we went and did the live scan, once they came back from the live scan, there was just a simple process. We went and got their papers and the forms to reduce the felonies. Once you get your paper and your application filled out, then you do your fee waiver, you do your proof of service, and then, like I said, when you do your fee waivers, okay, being that we're giving away free live scans that's designed for the indigent or the low income, okay, it doesn't really entail too much on your fee waiver, just to say that you receive some type of benefits, okay? So now, like I said, but it's still different processes to the fee waiver, and that's for those that goes outside and just want to still get their rap sheet on their own. They have to fill out the whole process as far as their assets, their income, and things of that nature. So it's just a difference. And then we have to have a proof of service. But with the proof of service, we know you went to that court and filed it, and this is proof that you have filed to get your record, and you're waiting on a response. So once you send in the proof of service, then you go, and then you wait to see for the DA to go and the judge to come and the reduce your record for you. So once he reduces your record, okay, then he sends you a minute order, and right here's the minute order is saying simply that your felony has been reduced. Right. Now, it may be cases, yes, right here, so this is the minute order. So it may be cases that you may not have a felony in the county of Los Angeles, but we do have all the addresses in any of the counties that do offer Prop 47 reductions, and so we have addresses and everything else, okay? And so if you may not be able to get to this court building or whatever else, we do have proof of services that you can mail in. So we have the whole set designed where you have no problems getting any of your issues addressed the right way, and know that you could be confident that you have received your reduction. So then we find it right after you get your minute order and you say your felonies reduced, then you work on jobs, okay? And this is where we're, hey, dealing with case management and brings it into harm reduction. Under harm reduction, these are the services we offer when we look and see the needs as far as getting a job, putting you in a training facility, okay, working with going back to the courts for social services if you had a problem with your kids or anything of that nature, okay, or, you know, how to apply for Section 8, how to do your resume. So all this goes under case manager. And then we have services that we do offer as far as putting you in 8-week training programs and things of that nature. So you'll be, okay, a second productive citizen back in the community and addressing your needs. And so right here, our services we offer, in addition to live scans, we have a DOJ service because, like I said, once Prop 47 passed and I found that this is what I was intrigued in, okay, I went and had the whole live scan service set up in my office. So we're certified by the State of California DOJ. So this is for live scan. So now I'll take it a little further that yes, once you get your felony reduced, you might want to get a felony is dropped to a misdemeanor. So once the felony is reduced to a misdemeanor, you may want to get the misdemeanor gone clean, expunged and clean right then and there. So we're able to reduce that misdemeanor and take it all the way off your record. Okay, so once we reduce your felony to a misdemeanor, now you may want to talk about getting your whole record pardoned by the state of California. And so we're able to assist you with that. And right now, I'm in the process of being certified by the state of California to have my record completely pardoned, to be pardoned by the state of California. And so it's a whole process here. So we can train you I can teach you the whole workshop and then prepare you to be successful in the community and whatever your efforts and endeavors might be for your future.
Awesome. Well, that is amazing, Wineka. And, you know, we're just looking at all this. I'm sitting here, I'm looking through all the paperwork. And one of the things I'm thinking about the individual who has this rap sheet or has to do this paperwork. And that could just be the biggest stumbling block for you is that I don't want to deal with these papers. I don't know what to do. And so if that's an issue for you, this is an organization. I mean, you guys are walking them through step by step. And then with the job placement, the Propel LA, I mean, there's no reason not to get involved. If you have a criminal record and you've been down this road, someone has paved the way and someone has done the work for you and has made this opportunity available for you. So take advantage of this, guys. Community Reflections is offering a great and awesome thing in South LA, and I just commend you for your service, Wineka. Thank you. Thank you for joining us here at Addiction and Recovery TV. And I am sitting with Miss Jamika Marshall, and she is with Community Reflections. And we've heard a lot about this organization today. And so, Jamika, as the community director, we see that you guys are doing so much. And what's your involvement? Like, how did you get involved with this organization?
Well, I am the executive director of Community Reflections, and I got involved because I met Nikki, who you've heard a lot from, and she's awesome and her awesome personality, and I was attracted to the work that she does because I've always been really active in community justice and criminal justice reform, and so seeing the work that Community Reflections was doing on the ground really made perfect sense to me. Like, this is where the policy really connects to the work, and this is what we want to see when our government officials create these laws and they create these great progressive policies. This is how we want to see them delivered, you know, to the community with the harm reduction and the cultural humility and all that great stuff.
Yeah, and because, you know, people have problems and issues, and one of the biggest stumbling blocks for not only drug addicts, just anyone who's been institutionalized or even been involved with criminal activity is getting past the past. And with a record, that can be really hard to do. So I think that what you're doing is amazing with the live scan component, and you're always you have a lot of events. And so do you think that people have been able to really start their life over and do something different because they've been able to come through Community Reflections?
I think Community Reflections is all about that answering that question. Like, we really want to move forward to like what works and what really gets people to that point where they can start their life over. And that's why we kind of focus on Prop 47 and the criminal justice piece, because what we found is that so many folks who maybe are homeless or suffer from addiction and are really struggling to get back to where they need to be are like constantly tripped up by these system issues. And one of the big ones is kind of criminal justice involvement. And we know that mass incarceration has infected so many people. We work and really focus on Black and brown communities in South LA because that's where the need is and that's where our community is. But we work with everyone because so many of us have been caught up in this, war on drugs. And a lot of the work with Proposition 47, Proposition 57, with the cannabis law is the culmination of a lot of work of the activists that you talk to and a lot of the folks that we've seen today. And they worked really hard to get these laws passed. And now we want to make them a reality and make them really work for people. And now we want to say, hey, we got these laws passed. Let's make it of value to people and make sure they can get jobs. They can actually access the housing if they're homeless. They can actually, get some of these government benefits because these, criminal charges aren't standing in their way.
I mean, it's super, I'm just completely touched about what you're doing and the impact that you're making. And I just think about the individual who has this wreckage in their past. And sometimes people just won't even take those steps forward because it just seems so hard, like this huge mountain to get over. And then here you are, like this helping hand to say, maybe it's not so bad. Let's take a look at the record. Let's see what we can do. And going through Congress and fighting and getting those laws passed. I mean, people really need to know what you guys are doing and the fact that you're able to help these people that they might not have done it otherwise. Just that helping hand is a huge breakthrough. Do you get to hear some of the success stories of the people that come through?
Yeah, we do. And what's great is we help so many folks who are suffering through addiction, who are suffering through that whole process. But we also help folks who are like in recovery, right? And who actually, and this is like really touches home for me because I have family members who have struggled, and maybe someone who has like a year or 3 years or even 13 years sober, but life gets in the way, right? And so what I love about Community Reflections and the work that we do is it's really focused on this harm reduction model that's really thinking about the mental wellness of folks, right? And so we get folks who are like fathers who are thinking about custody issues. We get undocumented folks who are trying to become citizens and be productive, taxpayers, so much stuff like that. And it really takes a toll on people's mental health. And we know, viewers and you all know that so much of the opioid crisis and so much of the substance abuse crisis is really tied to that mental health issue and that mental wellness. And those are the testimonies that really gives me goosebumps, is because folks are saying, I have this weight off my shoulders, right? And I can really hope that, maybe these custody issues or these housing issues or even trying to get into treatment, right, I'll be able to work through those things now that I have my record cleaned and I'm really, on that track to productive citizenship.
That's amazing. Well, we've gotten a lot of information. We totally salute you for what you're doing. And we want to talk about some of your events because you guys are not only in the trenches making lives better and helping people, but you have events and you have get-togethers. So let's talk about what's coming up. So
the cool part of our events is, everybody loves having events, and the cool part of our events is that everybody loves having events and having parties, but we really try to have these community events. We like to party and we're going to have fun, but we also want to make sure that people are coming out and they're getting those resources, and not just folks who have the cars and have the ability to get out, but our isolated residents, folks who, maybe don't have, even an address to kind of send this stuff to. So what we're doing is we're encouraging folks to come out to our 2 summer events. Okay. First, there's going to be Yeah, you
around.
can
Yeah,
hold
you
it.
can talk about it
Great,
a little bit.
great. Okay, so the first is the St. Andrews Jazz Festival, which is happening on June 30th. It's a huge event on Manchester in Vermont. It's going to be a community-wide event for all of Council District 8, supported by our council member, Marquise Harris Dawson, and the Empowerment Congress there. We're going to have a prime location because we're supported by both groups, and they really want us to get the message out about these Prop 47 workshops and the fact that you can come down and we're offering a small amount, a limited amount, but definitely a significant amount of free live scans to folks who are income eligible. So if you can come with proof of income eligibility, we'll be able to complete a live scan for you on the 30th
at the Jazz
at the Jazz Festival.
Festival.
And then,
So wait, is this Jazz Festival free too?
it's totally free to the public. Jumping bounces, kids, all that stuff, and there's going to be some very cool jazz guests, including Lucien's, which everybody loves. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. And you get your live scan that day, whether you qualify for the free one or not, and you get that live scan. And you come back on the August 3rd, and
Right back at it.
right back at it, August 3rd, and by then that gives us the 3 to 4 weeks for the live scan to kind of come back. On August 3rd, we're going to have an end of the summer huge giveaway, water giveaway, lots of toys, lots of stuff for the kids. We're going to have all of the county out there, county services. And a barbecue, free food for the community. We call it our day of sharing and caring. So we give back to folks. It's absolutely free. Don't bring your wallet unless you want to be a part of the fundraiser. Definitely bring your wallet then.
Let's talk about the fundraising because
So before we do that,
okay.
so at the August 4th or August 3rd event, that Saturday, you'll have your record back, and then we can start processing the expungement that day. So folks can leave the August 3rd event on their way to a clear record, right? Felonies reduced to misdemeanors kind of removed from your record, and all that great stuff. So we'll have your record back, and then we're encouraging folks, especially homeless folks who are maybe struggling with these issues right now, to come out because we are able to process your record request and get it sent to our office, and that's really key for folks who have a little bit of housing insecurity. So yes, donations.
Wow, that's amazing. You guys, these events, so go on the website, Community Reflections, and find out about those events. They are
Community Reflections Inc. That's inc.org, spelled out. Please check out our website. We have a lot of cool pictures and a lot of videos about how we do our Proposition 47 workshops, and you can learn a lot. You can check us out and see what we're all about. But there's also this great donation page. So we have a PayPal donation page, and really we're hoping to raise more funds. We have enough funds to give, like I said, a limited amount of live scans, but every dollar that we raise this summer, in addition to our budget limit right now, is going to go to the free live scan. So go on the page if you have some extra coins, donate, and it's going to help folks who can't afford it get those record requests so they can start on their way to productive citizenship.
awesome. Yeah, it looks very simple going right on to the Community Reflections, and then any kind of donation. So it's not a set amount. It's just basically getting involved in restoring the homeless and just helping people with what you called it, the harm reduction.
Harm reduction, it's really about offering folks, love where they are, meeting them where they are.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you guys, for the rest of your summer, there's a lot to do. So get in touch with Community Reflections and find out what's next and what you can do. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for joining us today here at the Mental Health Awareness Day. I do believe wholeheartedly that we've had a great opportunity. We have heard from many people here today that are definitely making a difference and an impact in the community. Hopefully you learned something new about mental health and addiction, and even about therapy, resources, learning how to recover and live a different life. This is what we are embarking to do at Addiction and Recovery TV. Continue to bring together resources, organizations, and individuals to discuss these topics while not only putting the information out there, but also letting people know what is actually being done, because people are not well informed. And so if you were a part of this event today, we'd like to thank you for your support. If you are viewing this show, we do hope that you will attend some of these upcoming events, and we also want to hear from you. So thank you all again for attending the Mental Health and Awareness Day here in West Hollywood Park.